Welcome to episode 3 of Transportation Talks with Julian Barba and
Matt Redmond.
Today we're going to talk about Tesla Gigafactory. As many of you know, Tesla has built a humongous Gigafactory or battery manufacturing plant in the small town of Sparks, Nevada, which is just a few miles outside of Reno. And Matt, what is the name Gigafactory really originate from?
Yeah, so they basically are creating a huge amount of batteries out of this plant. The name Giga stands for like a billion. So their plan is to produce billions of watt hours of batteries. They want to create 150 billion watt hours per year in stationary storage from the Gigafactory.
Yeah, so the only way to actually accomplish that humongous goal is to manufacture or create a plant the size of 95 football fields. I mean, their plant literally spans 126 acres, and it sits on a parcel of land that's over 3,000 acres.
So this thing's big.
Oh, it's humongous. It's humongous. You can literally see it from outer space.
It's really that big.
Yeah.
Once it's all built?
Yeah, once it's all built. So it's currently being built, and it's expected to break ground in 2018 for full completion.
Now, I heard that they're aligning it like a diamond to true north. So it has kind of a diamond shape to it.
Really?
And they're aligning it straight to true north, which allows for two reasons for that, apparently. One, you can have south-facing solar panels on top so that all the batteries you're producing are fully charged from the sun. And then second is it allows for the GPS coordinates to be easily referenced inside the building. So each equipment can have its own latitude and longitude, but it's just sequentially, as you walk north through the plant, you essentially have different equipments at different latitude. So I think that's a really interesting design, and they've really thought through that design.
Gotcha. So it's more so of a precision based construction rather than your typical concrete tilt-up factory, and then just place the manufacturing equipment wherever they see fit.
Yeah, it's really well designed.
Okay, great.
So with the Gigafactory, essentially they want to input those raw materials, lithium, aluminum, into the Gigafactory by train.
Or by Hyperloop, right?
However they get it, and output the battery packs.
So each manufactured battery pack is going to have the capabilities of being recycled with raw materials?
Yeah, so what they've announced is that not only does it produce battery packs and stationary storage units for Tesla's products, but it can also allow for the recycling of these batteries. So at the end of a lifespan of these batteries, now it's probably a decade or so of life you get out of a car battery from Tesla, but you can basically put the materials, separate them out, and reassemble them into a battery so that they're not just wasted.
Gotcha. So there's the battery packs are going to essentially end up in a landfill, like some of the naysayers of electric vehicles. So most importantly, why is this factory crucial? I think there's 3 major points in this construction of the Gigafactory that Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, has really accomplished. So it ultimately reduces the cost of production and ultimately reduces the cost of ownership of a car battery, right, by about 30%, which essentially produces economies to scale for lithium-ion batteries.
Right, really makes it more economical to make large battery packs. Because before this Gigafactory, there wasn't that many batteries being produced. If you look at all the cell phones, tablets, I mean, the biggest batteries they were making, at scale, were for cell phones, tablets. Rechargeable batteries were not made at scale. And so here is like a first case.
Exactly. So Tesla Motors' production rate was essentially dependent on the lithium-ion batteries they can get their hands on, and most of which were produced out of the U.S. and China.
Yeah.
So this essentially gives Tesla the opportunity to control their own production rates.
Yeah, they would do it all in-house.
Yeah, exactly.
That's their motto.
Exactly. So not only will Tesla produce the batteries for the Tesla vehicles, but it's also going to produce the batteries for the power walls and
That's the power pack, especially the stationary storage for large buildings. That pulls a lot of stationary storage requirements. Like it's going to be a large battery pack, a lot of lithium-ion cells in there,
okay.
and they want to make as many, lithium-ion cells as possible because the more they make, the higher economies of scale they get. So producing this for the Powerwall and Power Pack, it just makes sense to bring those economies of scales closer.
Gotcha. Okay. But most importantly, what is the end goal, the end result of Tesla? It looks like they are
They're not a car company.
Right, they're no longer a car company. Their parent company is now just Tesla, and then they have subsidiaries of Tesla Motors, Tesla Energy.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're really laying out the groundwork.
And Tesla Solar.
Tesla Solar. Now that they've acquired Solar City.
They've been trying.
So it looks like they're more so laying out the groundwork for an energy company that's self-sustainable and self-efficient.
Yeah.
So they're going to be vertically integrated.
Right.
They can control the pricing of their battery packs and reduce the cost of their vehicles, as we mentioned earlier. And now they're actually eventually getting into the roofing business. They just briefly announced that they're not solar panels, they're solar roofing system that's going to replace solar panels on top of an existing roof. Right?
Yeah, that's really interesting that they can do all this. But, I'm wondering, how does this kind of affect oil?
Exactly. So this essentially helps get rid of the world's dependence on fossil fuels, right? And that's what Elon Musk has mentioned to the public that's what he wants to do. He wants to get rid of the dependence on foreign oil. He wants to essentially
Carbon gases.
And
you create like a sustainable transport, sustainable energy system. So that,
exactly.
So let me get this straight. Essentially, oil in the ground, ready, from dinosaurs, from the earth, that's essentially energy stored. And with this Gigafactory, you're essentially going to produce, man-made, reusable energy storage.
Exactly.
So if now oil is very dense in energy. I mean, the amount of energy you get out of a gallon of gasoline is about 36 kilowatt hours, and a Model S, the Tesla car
sedan,
that has a 60 or 70 kilowatt hour battery in there. So you can, and it's a lot more efficient than a gallon of gasoline in an internal combustion engine. Yeah, and one could argue they're for the consumers. I would argue they're for making the most amount of batteries.
Yeah.
I mean, they want to make a truck. They want to produce, these power walls. They want to make a bunch of batteries because that is the end result of replacing oil.
Exactly.
You need to replace that oil energy content.
Yeah.
And with batteries, that's the nearest solution that we have to do that.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
yeah, I think it's fascinating. It's really neat to watch, and the Gigafactory opening, basically.
Exactly. So that concludes our episode 3 on Tesla's Gigafactory in Sparta, Nevada. Now for the new segment of
Flashback. Yeah, so this is kind of a little segment episode at the end to quickly each of us share a random that we learned during the week. So to kick it off, my first fact is with public transportation, and I didn't know this, but every $1 invested in public transportation generates $4 in economic returns, which that's pretty good return on investment.
Yeah, it's pretty good ROI. Yeah, I agree. And for my flash fact, Turns out today, Anthony Fox, the Secretary of Transportation, released the 15-point U.S. DOT sweeping new rules for driverless cars. So it'll be interesting to see how car manufacturers and public agencies can work together to accommodate public safety and innovation in the industry. Well, good chat.
Yeah, fun as always.
Transportation Talks.